11111. Okay, we should be back in theory if I find the right
Button.
button. Yeah. Okay. Uh, is there a sound now?
Caps lock it for life.
Yeah, caps.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one more tricky question now. Is the sound okay? Oh, I wanted to write is the sound okay if the sound is not okay, so it will be. And probably it's the most shitty place for the camera, or not. No idea. I'll try to put it here. Okay. There is auto record on Twitch, and I made recording from OBS. I have no idea which works better. I never tried to do streaming before. Yeah, actually, maybe looking at us, it's a bad idea. We should have only chat, yeah, or something like that.
Maybe half by half OBS and this window.
How about I have OBS and this window? That's maybe an idea. You have your own mouse, you can do it.
So good.
Okay. Jesus Christ, too many windows. No,
It's not sticking to the right side.
no idea. Okay, Jesus Christ. You're a student. You should be able to do these things. Oh, it's lagging. Oh, okay. Oh. But now it's not. There's no chat. Okay, make it like this. Okay, we should. Okay. So is everything okay? And can we start? Okay. Stream now. Okay, we have prepared some plan what to talk about, and we will try to stick to it at least at the beginning. However, I think that one of the most important things is to actually answer your questions and things you things you want to know from us, because we can tell you some things that probably no one else can about this game
Yet.
yet. Okay, so please answer is if everything is okay, because we can't see any chat response. Okay.
Maybe no one is looking at us or listening to us. We're too mainstream.
Someone alive? Co, bo nie wiem jak z jakością, no nie tego jest, bo widzisz tutaj niby nam laguje strasznie. Okay, everything is cool. Okay, because we have flags seeing ourselves, which is kind of annoying. But so let's start. I think it may be a little bit boring, but I still assume there are some people who don't know the rules kind of exactly on the fly. So as game creators, we feel
responsible.
responsible and obligated to actually go through the rules, because they are kind of long. And by the way, I have very huge thanks to Thibaut, because he wrote them down from my previous version's very crappy readme file on GitHub. So we didn't have to actually bother with the rules themselves. So what the game is about is cards, and this is a card game, and I really believe it is very hard to get into if you don't have join the event. I have to join the event?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, there's even in the middle. Okay, start. Okay, link. Wait. It's TV. Airline.
Maybe dot after TV?
HTTPS. Before, you mean? Yep. That may be good.
Tweet. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all okay. Um, okay, so let's got it. There's a demo. Let's play my code, which is actually Lua, but we will switch to Python to not bother you with Lua too much, I think. So it's all about the cards. So the main idea of the game, like many card games, is that you have something called hand. When you have your own cards, they are visible to you, and the enemy has his own hand, and normally, sadly, you can't see his cards.
Sadly.
Sadly, yeah, sadly, yeah. Yeah, that could be nice if you can see him. Of course, only if he couldn't see our cards, yeah. The game shouldn't be fair, it's be the games where we can win, yeah. So the cards are pretty much simple. I mean, I hope they are pretty much simple.
We are forced to simplify them. So
We are forced to simplify them, but only a little. So the main things from the card are cost, their attack and defense. And usually the game goes like, we get something on a hand, and we have the resource called mana, which I really nice this idea that you have one, then on the next turn it increases to 2, next turn it goes to 3, and so on and so on. So it's renewed, and it's always this one more up to some cap, which in the case of our game the cap is 12. So you have this resource called mana, and in your turn what you can do is actually first you can, I mean the order does not matter, but the first type of action you can do, it's called summon. You can get your creature from yeah, you mean you think we can wait?
I think we already started, so
Yeah, and yeah, people can stop the boring part about the game rules. Yeah, anyway. So the idea is that you spend this mana resource to summon the creature on the board. Yeah, like we got stupid AI, but our opponent is not so stupid. So for example, here he spent his entire 2 mana from 0 to summon the cards on the board, because only when it comes to called creatures, they have to be on the board to actually make any move. So okay, when we have these creatures on board, what they can do, they can attack. Attacks is very simple. It means that from the defense we subtract the opponent's attack, and from his defense we subtract his attack, and it goes simultaneously. One or both creature dies or no creature died, and it goes like this for these 12 turns. And it's pretty about there's various strategies without camera you can see the board. What is that? Okay, that's a kind of chat discussion. Should we start or not? Okay, so the game is about summoning cards and attacking the enemies. You can see this partially kind of an abstract problem, yes, that is called, like, because we want to optimize the stuff to
ignore that.
Okay. Optimize the stuff to which creature which I should attack which creature. Okay, but okay, we are in the middle partially, but otherwise people are starting to get interested. So I'm with the coding game T-shirt because I won it probably from some Lua contest, and I'm a cat, which means yeah, I was kind of a main developer of the idea and on engine. Yeah, and Radek is my student. He tries to make his bachelor thesis or something like that.
Yeah.
You will
In the
try.
meantime.
In the meantime, yeah. I mean, I bothered him with some other stuff, but I think hopefully you will have. We will find something for you to actually write it down like as a bachelor thesis.
Yeah, so maybe let's hide the chat because people are quite excited about that, and I think it could go wrong.
No, that's I don't want to be the guy on the left. Which is left? This is left. Okay.
I think
So
it's-
yes,
I
that's
think it's mirrored, but
I have no idea. I'm coding game. T-shirt and Ming. As I'm on the fake account, it's kind of a meaningless, but kind of right.
who's the guy on the right? So I'm Radek, or Radek me, whatever, and I'm the guy in the social coding T-shirt. I think it's quite washed off, but yeah. And yeah, that's all about me.
Oh, that's not all about you. You actually, I think he's better in Lua than I am.
I'm only a software architect. Don't mind me.
Okay.
Where were we?
And we are hosted in University of Wrocław. It's actually my room, kind of because I have two people. One I stole a monitor from, and the one is absent. I mean, both are absent. And yeah, so it's in our institute. You can see some pretty much books. No one is mine. I'm not able to read so much. Okay, so maybe try to go straight to the rules. Or if you think I'm doing this entirely wrong, you can, switch me off as soon as you.
I just push you off the screen.
Yeah. You can push me off the screen. It will be okay. Okay, it's a little bit probably too big. Okay, so we can do like this. This is like we say hi, and now we can minimize ourselves to the tiniest, or even reduce. If you will be tired watching at us, so we can reduce ourselves totally.
Maybe leave it like that, and then we can continue.
Oh, okay, that might be maybe an idea, because now we can see live things. Okay, so the rules. First of all, the thing is, normally when you play card games, you have your set of allowed cards, and you build your decks from the cards you own. So it's like you can actually make the decks to suit, first of all, your collection, because normally you don't have 100% of the collection in the
Full game.
yeah, because they are called collectible card games, which means you have to spend a lot of time or money to actually get the collection. So you construct the deck. It's called constructed, and you can suit this deck to your available cards and your preferences and your play style and whatever now people think is working the best. The alternative is called Arena.
Mm-hmm.
When the computer randomly gives you cards and you select them, and then play with people who also select cards in this way. However, Arena is never fair, actually, because it looks like you have your cards that are proposed to you, and you play like, I don't know, a few matches with the same deck you collected, and other people had other choices. So if there are some extremely good, powerful cards, then maybe you had only one choice of that card, and the other people get like 5 or 4 or 6. So it's not fair. So what we did is kind of we call it a fair arena. So there's a draft phase where you're given 3 cards. A few times you're given 3 cards, and you choose one of them, the one which you think will suit your game the best, and the opponent took the other one, but you can't see his choices. Yeah, so you know your choices, of course. I mean, if you don't have half second Alzheimer, you know your choices. But you can the opponent had the same choices as you, but you don't know what actually he took, and you do it 30 times. So yeah, and you have 30 times 3 choices, and what okay, this is detailed rule too, so we go to this later. And you construct your deck. That way the cards are shuffled, and both players now start with their cards shuffled, and some of them you have in your hand. The remaining ones are in your deck. And as we said, you start the game. So first of all, it's card draw. Yeah, so first player starts with 4 cards, the other starts with 5. Each turn, normally, you draw 1 card from your deck. However, there are some cards that can increase this counter. Okay. There's runes, there's mana to play the cards. I told that already. So maybe let's start talking about some more interesting things. Okay, first of all, what creatures what all cards can have? There are 6 keywords. They're called breakthrough, charge, drain, guard, lethal words. And what is interesting? Okay, breakthrough is nice thing to deal damage to the opponent's face, because okay, the goal of the game, as you probably know, it's to beat this parameter, which is opponent's health, to 0.
Maybe not this one because it's your health.
Okay, maybe not this one, the opponent's one. Yeah, okay. That's not the best idea to make this one to 0. And okay, what now? So the breakthrough, which is really nice against to combine removing enemy creatures from the board with actually sneaky victory. Yes, it's kind of hard to plan, isn't it? Okay, because you very often cannot attack opponent directly because of these nasty creatures with the keyword called guard. And the thing is that if there is a guard on board, you cannot attack anything, you have to attack guard. I'm pretty sure it's called taunt or something like that in Hearthstone. And the breakthrough is really nice thing to walk around guards in the way that if the guards is not strong, you can, and you have breakthrough creature with high attack, you still push damage to the opponent player and remove the guard on the way. Charge are cool. Normally, if you summon a creature on the board, you cannot attack with it right at this moment. It has to survive to the next turn, so entire opponent turn, and only then you are able to attack with it. The charged creatures don't have this
restriction.
Yeah, don't have this restriction. They can you can summon them and they can attack instantly. Drain is a cool stuff to repair your health and make you alive a little longer. There were some, you know, because in various games, kind of a drain-like abilities work differently. We base on Elder Scrolls Legends, which I will talk about probably later more. You can't stop me. So that if the creature with drain attacks in its own turn, it heal you. I mean, actually, it gives you HP, your HP of the amount exact of the attack. So even if I have a creature with drain called 10 attack and it destroys opponent creature with 2 defense, it heals you for 10, not 2. Yeah. Drain is called usually noob trap because people at the beginning think, oh yeah, drain is cool, let's make all creatures drain. Of course, there is usually there's a high price for drain, so drain creatures are more expensive. But this doesn't mean drain is bad. Drain is still cool. Guard this must be if you want to defend yourself. Little is a keyword that allows you to kill opponent's creature with 1 scratch actually. So if you are only able to make any damage to opponent's creature, because if you have, for example, creature with 0 attack, it doesn't make any damage. Yeah, but if you have at least 1 attack, the defender is killed. However, there is a counter for that. It's called ward, and the creatures with ward is they can ignore the first time they took damage. So if you attack with little creature with ward, the ward is gone. It's kind of a it's kind of a shield that can be lost, but the creature survives. Yes, the creature survives even little, and it survives the first thing which damages it. Whatever is the source, because we will talk about items in a second. So even if there is something that reduces defense because of item, if the item has ward, the first time it is stopped. Yeah, drain is great for comebacks, especially in Elder Scrolls Legends and Legends of Code and Magic, because there is something called there's kind of called runes. We had some talk on the chat about that. So the base idea is that if you have some kind of damage, there are slots on 25, 20, 15, 10 and 5, and if opponent is able to reduce your health below this threshold, like here from 26, for example, 22, what is changing? I will draw additional card there the next turn. In Elder Scrolls Legend,
you are not showing this on the screen.
Oh, I'm not showing this on the screen because we're. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Put us somewhere.
Put us somewhere, yeah. Okay, so that was the idea. Thank you. That from 26 we go to 22, and we get additional card draw. This might not be much. We had some discussions about it, yeah. Because okay, it's only additional card for but it's better than nothing to increase the amount of possibilities for a player which is losing in some way, yeah. Because if you lose your health, you're losing. So the more health you lose, the more additional draws you get. And finally, maybe, because it's kind of a search for solution, so maybe your hand now, after this number of draws, contains such kind of solution which will be life-saving. In real Elder Scrolls Legend, it is pretty common.
Yeah, but it works somehow different.
It was somehow different because there are some special cards that if you draw that way you can play them for free. But even without that, there are many things when people um, do not push damage to the face because they don't want to increase your possibilities. If there's an end game and one player has only one card like on the hand, so his possibilities are limited as hell, yeah. And if you're not killing him, but I don't know, making him draw additional 4 or 5 cards, then hey, he got nearly full hands. He can give you a strong guard or something like that, or charge a little, or whatever is able to, you know, shackle your good position, yeah, make it harder. Okay, that's not only creatures. It will be very nice and easy if we allowed only creatures, but we are bad and ugly, and we allowed also things that are called items. So the items are types of cards that they not have a presence on board, but you can use them to either buff your own creatures, so increase their statistics, or remove some things on and make pain for opponent creatures or even the opponent itself. Um, Even more this is complicated because there are 3 types of items: green items, red items, and called blue items. It seems strange, but one of the first talks we had, like, okay, if we give people a card to use, the first thing everyone will do, if there will be no this division into red, green, blue type, it's kind of okay. Is this item increasing stats or decreasing? Yes, so everyone will have to actually make this division on your own, unless you want to buff opponent creatures or remove some of your creatures. Because, for example, in I don't know how it is in Hearthstone, but for example, in Legends, you can do anything on any creature. So you can heal the opponent creature. Why not? I often use that to get the quests done to heal the number of creatures.
Or remove guard from your creatures.
Oh yeah, you can remove guard from your creatures. Sometimes you can also remove something from your creatures. It is useful. So the first thing we did, we actually made this division. So the green items are cool, and they're pretty simple because you play it on your creature and they usually increase some statistics, yeah, or give a keyword. So the items can also contain keywords, and if they contain keywords, this means they're adding this keyword. So you can have creature which is not a guard, and you use some item on it, and this item gives the creature a guard. Red items you can only use on the opponent creatures, and usually they have some negative effects. What is very important, if the red item have keyword, it removes this keyword from a creature, and removing keywords is before actual, for example, damage. So it's like you can remove word and then kill a creature or something like that. And there are blue items which causes the most problem. We're very sorry for that. It was very hard to make it work. And okay, so these are actually red items, but you can also target the enemy player. It's called -1. But if this card causes damage and is played on the player, it can hurt the player directly. Yes, so it's kind of actually these blue items were invented for the reason of, I don't know, 5 cards or something like that, especially.
I think it started with 2 or something.
Yeah, but I found more of them later. Okay, so the possible actions are: you can summon the ID. The ID is the instance ID of your card, because you can have multiple copies of the card in your deck, so they have the same. It's called base ID or it's called card.
It's in the protocol
It's in the protocol. It's called probably card ID.
or base ID.
No, base ID is was in GitHub. In the code here is gonna card type. Oh Jesus Christ! It's called card type. So if there are two cards with card type, they are the same card at the beginning. Yeah, but you can have multiple copies of them, and they will have the different instance ID. Because, for example, you can have the same card, and one of them you buffed with some kind of item.
It's card number.
No, it's instance ID.
I mean, it's card type is something different.
Oh, card type is card number. Okay, card number. Thanks. Oh, yeah.
Somehow that's because that's what I'm here for. Like,
Yeah, that's that's what we're here for. To correct my mistakes. And to attack, you have to choose the creature which is attacking and choose its target, or you can attack directly the player, or you can use the item. You always, when using an item, you choose which item. It's identifier from your hand to the target. That target will be identifier of the opponent or your creature, depend on the type, or -1 if you target the player. Or there's an artificial pass which is only to make the how's it called, not drop
initial code.
the initial code, the stub, the stub working. And you can have multiple actions in one turn. This is what makes this game kind of different from most coding games, because we don't have a lot of turns. Yes, we got most of the games ends with kind of 12 turns or something like that, maybe up to 20. But the turns are themselves in the pretty complicated, because you can use multiple of these. And we have some advanced rules about the runes, which I already told. The constraints: you can have maximum number of 8 cards in the hand, and if you draw more cards, it's you simply don't have them. Yeah, they remain in the deck, so nothing bad happens. In most games, they are kind of destroyed. You have maximum 6 creatures on board, so you cannot summon more. So in order to make a place for more creatures on the board, you have to kill your own creatures somehow, which is only possible to with attacking opponent. Yeah, because you cannot kill your own creatures with red spells or something like that. You have to suicidal attack on the opponent and make place for new creatures. Okay, and yeah, input is crappy, but that's how you roll. And you have for the first draft turn and first battle turn, there's 1 second of thinking. Response time per turn, normal other turn is 100 milliseconds. We wished it to be more, but it wasn't possible. I mean, coding games at its max.
Like, it's technically not possible.
It technically not
and we
possible.
saw that already on the sprint.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that because I have no idea what they are talking about. Okay, do we try to make kind of a very simplified bot to make to bronze to actually do some coding stuff to prove we can code? I mean, we can code, yeah. We code a game. It works somehow.
Or you can start with the initial thinking about the game, like the development, maybe. Because it will take some time, definitely.
So you want us to talk about the game development first?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was a question about. Wanna first maybe we will show the screens, yeah, or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and partially a timeline, yeah.
Mhm.
Because I checked the GitHub history, so it's like the first initial commit was in late March, and it took me kind of entire April to wrote the most engine, and in the May, without the spells, we had the whole draft phase, uh, creatures attacking and summoning, and the first version, this your version of user interface.
Yeah.
So actually, it was nearly a working game except the
UI.
except the UI, yeah. Because it took kind of a few days because I had everything else, so it took a few days to write spells. Uh, and this means in June, yeah, we got nearly full game, and that's when it was discovered that we're the team that actually have
Something.
that has something and nearly working game, instead of maybe other things, but we don't know how they are. Uh, okay, so yeah, the entire time after that was actually
Doing the UI, tweaking the gameplay,
yes,
fixing some bugs.
fixing a little bit bugs. Mostly it was a number of discussions between
And the coding game.
we testers and the coding game, because coding game want to make this contest playable. I want to make this hardcore. Uh,
And then we heard like we'll start with 50 milliseconds, and it was really bad. luck for us.
and for 50 milliseconds you can do anything, and yeah, that was. I still think it's because when you program the bot from the Hearthstone AI competition, something like that, I'm pretty sure you have a few seconds. I remember the research papers all usually saw that okay, it's gonna this few seconds for a move, and 100 milliseconds. This game is of course simpler, but 100 milliseconds is still
Harsh.
yeah, harsh for anyone who doesn't write in this overlay of on assembler, which is called C
Yeah.
or C++, yeah.
Okay. When the streamer bought Legends, yeah, we thought about doing something more than bronze, but then we agreed that we have something else to do in the nearest future, so maybe not today.
There will be talk. I mean, if you want, we can try talk about some more advanced algorithms or things like that. But I doubt we will code to Legend. I'm very sorry. I know you want to have a live stream on the Legend. Actually, the best with a code which is also copyable and downloadable. Yeah, but no.
So maybe let's start with the screens.
Yeah, if you're interested. Okay. This was the first version of the UI.
Where's everything else?
Where's everything else? This close. This close.
There's an arrow? How it's
Yes,
working?
but I should remove
Okay.
something more. It will be hard.
Maybe kill this one.
Okay, so this was the first version.
Leave the mouse for a second.
Okay, I have my
Actually,
hand.
we have two mouse in the same computer, so never do that. It's horrible.
You have two mouses and two keyboards, yeah, but
Where's that window? It's here, and now we got it
Yeah.
here. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first draft of the
This
UI.
is even the pre-alpha UI. Yeah.
This is something we made back in March. I think it was even before the engine was coded.
Yeah. Because I remember here we discussed which keywords we want to add, and
Yeah.
this ramp stuff. We will talk about it later. Yeah.
And
So-
maybe we got some, maybe not an Easter egg, but something like that, because as you can see in here, we had 7 keywords,
Yeah.
and currently there are 6.
There was regenerate, which was cut in the middle. This was oh yeah. I don't touch the mouse. This was Photoshop of the Photoshop of the first idea of the creature. So there should be names, there should be pictures, there should be keywords, 7 of them, and this additional stuff, and this is
Some info about
tooltips, and so on. So this is photoshopped, but this is the real alpha.
Yeah, and it worked for a while. Like, we coded whole engine with that. We
Yeah.
tested whole engine with that, and we played a lot with that. Like, we even wrote as I remember, we wrote something like a flat MCTS in that, just to make sure that it works correctly.
Yes. There were some codes. I'm pretty sure I didn't wrote any simulation base because I was too lazy. But there was a kind of a 5 or even 6 different heuristic, some kind of easy heuristic bots.
And as you can see, in the first version, we didn't even split the turns. So it like, if you made like 10 actions in one turn, then you got like 10 actions in one frame. So it was like animating for 100 milliseconds, and if you moved like 20 cards in one turn, then it all went like.
Yeah. It's kind of you have to make your pause to actually catch the moment you want to debug. Or it was horrible.
Yeah.
But after that, I'm really proud of it to invent this thing. And I'm more happy about that coding game didn't kill me for this, and actually they allow it. Because normally it's like
when you run a turn, then you run a bot for some time, and then you say that it's timeout. And right now we run it for 1 millisecond,
or even 0. I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's timed out. But we don't treat it as a timeout. We just treat like, okay, he made a turn, whatever. Then we just move the engine, and it's animated.
Yeah.
And it works.
Because the restriction on coding game engine is that you cannot produce a frame from the code like I want a new frame. The only possibility of making new frame is actually to run a bot in the turn. So if in the turn the kind of a bot is run, then the frame is produced. So the only workaround is when we tried like have a number of turns without running the bot, the changes in the UI didn't happen on the screen. So the only workaround is to make this kind of fake bot runs, and it's working.
Yeah. What we have next?
Next is a more advanced version. On this version you spent a lot of time. Oh, we don't have. Normally also here there were some HP stats, even runes and drafts. So we call that. We don't have screen sadly. I try to find the pictures kind of a few minutes before the stream. So we had like entire working user interface with everything, with items, with runes, with everything.
And what is important and quite fancy, we had even an animation part in that. Like, these colors were animated, so the cards were moving, the colors were animated.
Yeah.
Like, everything was finished. Only the UI was like really hard.
Yeah, actually, we have pretty much the same movements as for now, because we have some cards from here was animated here, go back here, and so on and so on. And okay, we're stopped with the alpha version. Now goes beta, and no, this is version. Yeah, this is with runes and everything. This is coding game stuff testing. And this is probably one of the bugs because, yes, there were 7 abilities.
We talked about that.
We will talk about it later. Yeah. It's regenerate. Yeah, coding game cut it. I mean, they want.
We agreed to cut it off, okay?
We agreed to that. I mean, we were forced to cut it, but we agreed. We have a choice between breakthrough and regenerate.
Yeah.
And I think we choose wisely because, first of all, you don't care about the breakthrough. Breakthrough just happens.
What else was cut out? I think we called the spells items, and that's why the blue items are somehow weird, because they
Yeah.
were so-called spells. And what was more, I think we also removed some of the items to simplify the game.
No,
no, we
the
simply-
CG nerfed all of that, many of that. I will
Yeah.
have some heavy talk about it later when we will go through the card. What else? We cut the ramp. I mean, because we have okay, the game is based on the Elder Scrolls Legends. If you don't have time, then don't play it. If you have time,
Then you don't have it already.
then you don't have it already. Yeah, it took me about kind of 2 months to actually be able to move out from this damn game. I started playing it after I have a lecture about algorithms for Hearthstone and things like that. I started playing Elder Scrolls Legend, and then I wanted to actually code this game. So the idea was kind of January probably. Yeah, the first idea of the game. And okay, these 7 keywords are actually all keywords the Elder Scrolls Legends game has had before the Morrowind expansion.
Yeah, and it came out like in the middle of the
In
engine.
the middle of the engine, yeah. So it's like, and on a resource for this lecture, I put this lecture on on Discord, on the algorithm of Hearthstone. There are quite few nice works. Maybe I'm able to find it.
Are you going to put Discord in there? Okay.
Why not? However, I have no idea how I call it. It's kind of.
Let me guess, PDF.
Oh, you can find like this, yeah.
Maybe add the P at the beginning?
You think it will work?
I don't know. I'm not using Discord.
You're not using Discord PDF here. Maybe it's
Okay, so we'll put it later, okay?
We'll put it later. Oh yeah, because a lot of people are making a lot of discussions here, so it can be difficult. We'll put it later.
Somewhere. and-
Somewhere, yeah. I will highlight it or something like that. It's mostly about 2 or 3 works. One is pretty cool. It's from last CIG. It's Computational Intelligence and Games Conference. It's by Bruno Bauzi and someone else. One is not good, and I remember the last. Okay, this will be an off top. There was from CIG 2016. There was by I don't remember the guy, but it was kind of making legends in Hearthstone.
The US one?
No, worse. It was the shitty paper we waste entire lecture on, because the guy make kind of machine learning on a set of cards.
Ah, okay.
You remember that paper?
Yeah.
And he was proud because he was able, with a kind of a high percentage, to detect what cards opponent has in hand. That was one part of the paper, and the other one was that he used take all the Hearthstone cards and make some linear evaluation of these cards.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for the 2007. This is yes. This is exactly this paper probably. I mean this one before. So this is partially what many of us are doing here, to make kind of a linear score for abilities. It's like, okay, it's a little, it's plus 0.5. If it's guard, it's plus 0.7, and so on and so on. But and he said, okay, now some cards of too powerful, some are less powerful, and you want to use only this more powerful. And anyone who plays the card games can say, okay, it's bullshit. You cannot play like this, because
well, actually you can, but you can't win with
you can't
such
win.
strategy.
You can't win with this because they have to be some cards that are a little bit more powerful. Because nearly always low cost cards will be powerful because they have to. And the other stuff is that the creatures, the cards are not scaled linearly, because it is obvious that if you are able to make one shot, so give high damage, the cards will be much more costly than spending like you have 10 damage card for 6 mana, and you have let's say 4 damage card for 3 mana, or even 2. Yeah, so it's kind of, no, this more expensive card is bad, I will prefer to use 3 times the lower cost one. Yeah, but you can't. You have limited number of cards in your hand, you have limited availability of them, so you cannot allow yourself to spend these 3 cards and make your hand empty. So it's not working like that. So this part was kind of not good. And the other part was he actually, the only thing he did, he compared the existing decks and like, oh, there are meta decks, so with high probability he has this card in his hand. No, even in his deck.
Yeah.
In his deck. So it's kind of a 95% accuracy of detecting what meta the other playing is using. Yeah, it's like any player who is actually really playing the game competitive is able to do it in kind of a few turns, or even in one turn. That, oh, he's playing Abomination Scout or whatever. Okay, so now we'll come back to the beta version of UI, and this looks like that. And yeah, make it. This is really near the final version.
Without the colors, maybe some FX.
Yeah, but you have. We both actually this was difficult how to come up with the pictures. So we bought a collection of creatures and a collection of items. It was easy with items because we only had a few items, but we had less creature images
than the creatures.
So you can see that some creatures are kind of similar, like this Dagotur or whatever it's called in this game has a version without wings and horns. Yeah, because I was forced to actually Photoshop them into to make the numbers more. And initially the items were kind of strictly colored, like are blue items, these are red items, and all the colors of the cards were the same. This was the graphics. Much of it stays the same. Probably keywords also are the same, but in other place or something like that. Most of this stays the same, yeah, but the background changes and so on and so on. And not quite soon before the competition, coding game like make a present to us, like, okay, we got the colored cards and everything changed.
Yeah, I think like a day, at most 2 days before the sprint, actually.
Yeah. It's like they made it live like a few days before the sprint at most. So it was kind of, wow, this looks great, yeah. My first impression was, why is lost so many hours making this one when they could make this one, eh? But but they do like fancy stuff on this. Oh yeah, this was the first guard version. So this is thicker, but it was not good visibility. So we made some other few versions of the guard, and now it's kind of a now guards look cool. I mean, this is visible that they are guards. Okay, this is this version. Okay. So what we were thinking also in the game, we were I was thinking about, because now we have except for the keywords, there are 6 keywords, and we got regenerate. Regenerate works that
At the start of your turn, the creature is regenerating itself up to the maximum, up to the current maximum.
yeah, defense, yeah. So
Uh,
it's like you have to kill it in one turn. If you don't kill it in one turn and it is left with, I don't know, 1 defense, it's going back up to its original defense. It's for most people it's called a bigger noob trap than drain, because it looks great on the paper, but actually it's not so magnificent in play, except when you have a guard with regenerate. When you have a guard with regenerate, it's kind of it's a killer. But here what we have additional, the cards have
My health change, opponent health change, and card draw.
yes, it's clear. It's my health change, so the cards, when you summon a card, it's called summon abilities. It can give you health. You can reduce opponent's health, or give him health, why not? And you can increase this card draw. Okay, normally in card games, the card draw is instant. So if you summon for example, the creature and tell you draw a card, it instantly goes to your hand. However, it will be impossible to make it on a coding game, because it will require pinging, non-stop communication with the server. So that's the reason we put all these draw abilities from the runes and from the creature's abilities to only increase the counter of the cards you're taking next turn. Yeah. So what I was also thinking about is kind of aerial damage, like push, I know, 3 points of damage to any creature on opposite creature on the board, but it was kind of too much. I was thinking about ramp. Ramping means that the ability that will increase your current mana or your max mana. But we were afraid that manipulating mana by the players will be too difficult to handle, because it will it will not scale linearly. But if you can change your mana, not only decreasing but increasing it your own turn, it will be difficult to handle by not some people apart the top players. There's a ramp. Okay, in some card games there are, it is also quite popular that you can give them, summoning a creature, you can also do something to exact creature, like I will do something to creature X, but this will even blow up the branching factor more, because this will make here the kind of attack will have no 2 identifiers but 3, which will be too much, very too much. We were also thinking for a split millisecond about making this truly like an Elder Scrolls Legends, which means 2 lines. In Elder Scrolls Legends, because here we got 1 line of creature in the middle, and in Elder Scrolls Legends, like you have left
split in the half, and then you got 2 lanes.
Yeah, so it's like you can have max 3 creatures on one lane and 3 creatures on the other lane. And uh, this is cool. I mean, the problem is it's make a branching factor goes exponentially because apart from everything else, when you are summoning a creature, you have to choose which lane it is, and it's very very hard decision sometimes. So this will be a killer for computers. However, making cards from 2 lane setting to 1 lane setting makes some differences, because when you have 2 lanes, um, there is less probability of one creature dominates the game, because if some very powerful creature is summoned on the lane left, you can work around it on the right. So for example, you have a big guard, you can still attack from the other lane. And here we found that okay, the guards are pretty powerful, and what is even more, the littles are pretty powerful, because little allows you, when you have a little on board and someone summons a creature, then in next turn, apart from guard defenses, it will be dead, because you can attack with little any creature nearly, except ward or some things like that. And if you have some strong little creature on 2 lanes base, you can still, okay, I will go the other side. Yeah, the shadow lane is also a thing, but it's less important here than the thing with having 2 lanes. I mean, the 2 lanes themselves are pretty balance changing. It changes a lot of balance. I'm pretty sure that's it. What we didn't make into the game, yeah. There were some things that were cut off. Oh yeah, because there were problems with the user interface. I mean the stub, because initially idea was to have 2 loops, 30 loops for a draft, and then here a loop for game and coding game.
There are strict rules for the stub, and as I remember, it includes only 2 nested loops at most, and only 1 game loop.
Yes, but the problem with the game loop is that you couldn't encode it even. Yeah, we couldn't encode a 30 turn loop, which will have kind of a few commands within it.
Yeah.
And it was also simplified because I strongly wanted to. Okay, now you don't have any idea what the opponent played actually. Okay, you see the state of the game at the beginning of your turn, but you have no idea what he did. He made use an item which is not visible to you at all. He could use a charge creature which died and you don't know about it. So we wanted to have info about what exact moves opponent played. They are not. It's not available here, but we really want it to be available on multiplayer, because without it, you don't even have a way to make some predictions about the content of the opponent deck. Yeah, because you don't have what card he used, and the entire thing about this draft phase, this fair draft phase, is that you can compute the exact probability of all cards that that opponent have in the deck, given the moves he already made. Okay.
I'm voting for closing this chat, really.
This chat, really. Okay. This chat is not okay. So, well, I have made on the list. Okay, we can talk about the creatures.
Mm-hmm.
This list of cards.
So in general, all the creatures were based on the the Elder Scrolls Legends creatures.
Yeah, I will do some hack. This HTML.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. this is how we worked with the creatures actually, how I worked, because oh, by the way, the names, I'm pretty sure nearly 100% contribution of names was to Julian from Coding Game.
Except for one, at least.
I think okay, this was my idea, but also he agrees to that. So we're cool about Wildum creature. I don't
47, I guess.
47.
Somewhere in here. Maybe just control
Yeah.
like that.
Anyway, okay, that's the Wildum creature was kind of a chat joke, which happens to be a creature. But all the names creatures got were made by Julian. Yeah, we're very thankful for that. Actually, it took me so many hours to make pictures to the stats because I was perfectionist on that. So I will try that any charged creature will have wings. Yeah. Every lethal will have some kind of fangs or things like that.
Yeah.
The guards should be big and heavy and things. So it was horrible. But I didn't get the creature. Actually the names are pretty new things. Yeah. So before that we didn't have a name, and we were working based on that. So these are the references on. From the Elder Scrolls Legends decks, when you can see the cards in Legends and the ratings of the people in the arena and in Constructed, and sometimes the comments about the cards. So maybe let's. This was long no updated, so I. What's it called, strike through the descriptions that are not valid anymore.
Not valid after the nerf, because basically there was a time that
buff, mostly they buffed creatures
and nerfed items. Yeah.
And nerf items. Yeah. No, they buffed some items. Some of the choices were so stupid. Okay. Because okay. So the idea for the beginning, I don't know many card games. Radek know more card games than me. So I was pretty stuck with the Elder Scrolls Legends. So what I did, I just opened all of the Elder Scrolls Legends cards, and I searched through entire few hundreds of Elder Scrolls Legends cards and put these cards which were able to fit within our framework, which means attack, defense, 7 abilities, and and this stuff, with no changes at all, or small changes, as small changes as possible.
Yeah, mostly because most of the cards in the Elder Scrolls Legends have some special abilities which are not keywords. Like on summon they do something.
Yeah.
On while they dying they do something. While they're moving they do something. Or
yeah.
They are moving at least.
Oh, this is the other case. I was thinking about it's called in Elder Scrolls Legends last gasp. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the creature is dying, it can do something, but it is also too difficult to implement in this framework.
Yeah, because it may die during your turn. Like
because
between your actions.
Yeah, it's quite complicated. So the problem that coding, this we have a lot of talks about, because the problem the coding game has, it was like some of the creatures make no sense because they are too powerful or
to something, whatever.
Or to something, and we argumented that we don't care because it's an arena. So being honest, you don't care that there exists a creature which is powerful or something more powerful than me, even for the same price, because there's many creatures that are strictly better for the same price, but we don't care about this unless we have them in the same choice, because if you're in the arena, it's kind of I only care about okay.
Just keep talking.
You shouldn't make the okay visible.
You already showed the URL.
Yeah, I know. Initially, I was thinking about only showing from my offline stuff, but I said, oh, I will put to the page anyway. So, yeah, you're interested only in these 90 creatures you have to choose from, and to choose the best, you're only interested in three creatures you are shown this turn. So you don't care, like, as a player you have I have so bad choices, yeah, but the opponent have the same choices as you, so you shouldn't be bothered about that. But even if this argumentation coding game was strictly they have a problem that people will think that the game is badly designed. No, sorry. So initially there were many creatures that one was not so many, but a lot of creatures where one was strictly better than the other, or things like that. We were thinking as a card game player that this is normal, but so CG buffed a lot of creatures. Like here, it was initially 2/1 creatures and you gain 1 health. Oh, Jesus Christ! I put something. I clicked something that's bad.
I think the text descriptions are actually up to date.
Yeah, text descriptions are up to date. They are equal like from original card list. I just put the column which is, I'm pretty sure now it's commented in kind of original stuff, but I added this strike throughs. Okay, so let's talk about the creatures maybe. These initial creatures are hard to talk about actually, because it's kind of a okay. Okay.
They're just speaking more blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Oh, we got microphone here. Okay. Is there a creature you want to talk something interesting here? The basic true one's kind of a basic for one creature. Whatever you can have for 1 mana. Okay, don't care. This is useless. I mean, okay, this is useless. This is useless. This is not bad. Having 4 attack is can be pretty dangerous for 2 mana. This is standard. This is ward creature, which make it good for early trades. So if you are a player who want to early gain on board, it's kind of a good. Not interesting. Oh, by the way, about not interesting. Drella Forager, they put ward here. Initially it was 2/2 for 2, and it's called nearly the worst creature in the Elder Scrolls Legends. So yeah, but they put it ward here, so it's actually a nice creature now. True Undrain, it's kind of a nice. This is nice. I like this creature. It's Vigilant of Standard. It's for 3. It's 5 damage. It's something you have to be scary about. Really scary. This was one of the other candidates for the worst creature in the game. 5/3 for 4, but they make it pretty nice. They make it Swamp Terror, which gain 1 health and deal 1 damage to opponent.
Why number 4 is useless?
Because it gives you nothing. I mean,
but you can guard him.
You can guard him, but this is you have very low probability you have a card which actually guards him. And if you guard him in the early game, you probably have tons of better actions than actually guard this creature.
Yeah.
Unless you're pretty unlucky with your hands. I mean, in theory, it is good for early trades, but okay, it only have 1 attack. If it has 2 and many creatures early have more than, it's very rare to have 1 defense. Okay, except for Slimmer, but who cares?
And
yeah?
the Borg Larcher.
And yeah, and things like that. So usually this creature requires more than one turn to kill anything, and actually, as it is not a guard, this HP is kind of it's a long-term creature, but okay, it's not good.
It's
I
good
mean,
to take off the ward, at least.
it's good to take off the ward. Yes, that's a good stuff. And I also many of my thinking about these creatures will be based on Elder Scrolls Legends, and here this creature may not be so bad. Yeah, I mean, because you have this creature, it will be stick to the board quite long, so it eventually pushes some damage, which will make it cost acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are better choices for 2 mana. If you call me, I definitely choose kind of Murgling. I choose Rootking, something with worth is way to be. Yeah, definitely. So this is a killer. This is a really nice, but the problem here is
We only have one lane.
exactly like that. You only have one lane, so if you put it, it has to survive to your move, to your turn. In Elder Scrolls Legends, it is simpler because you put it on the other lane, except it is shadow lane, and it increases probability it will survive. Here, it is great creature if you are able to put it behind some of your guards. This is Karus, but they buffed him. It's initially only 4 defense. It's 4/5, 4/4. It's pretty standard. 6/2 is another nice card. I mean, the same situation as it's with Boglercher. I mean, Frank Langer. It has to survive, but if it is, it's nice. This is slightly below the stats. It's a nice creature. This is another strong attack, but this one is cool because with 4 health it actually can survive long. It's definitely, in my perspective, it's better than 9/1 because you lose 2 attack, but you increase in 3 health, which makes your chances for surviving quite nice. This is also, yeah, 5/6/4/5. We're here with creatures with no abilities, so they are pretty standard. So we usually really want the creatures with abilities because these are plain. There are only few creatures that are really good. They strongly favor attack in draft. Yes, but that may be not a good strategy.
Yeah. More or less, we are more focused on the search-based solutions, so we are not focused on anything, literally. But yeah, in the early phases, we had like few heuristics, and it showed that it's really based on attacks. It really makes sense.
I mean, with focusing on attack makes you, go to bronze or silver fast, because you try to only go face, so you just push your attack maximally.
Yeah, we'll try that later.
Yeah, but I think what is valued the most is the right choice of keywords, more than individual attack. Okay, this is probably buffed task. I don't know why. 5/5/4/5. It's a staple card. It is really often played. I mean, I choose it during the Elder Scrolls Legends draft really often. It's kind of a solid 5/5/4/5. It's nice. And this is probably one of the Swamp Leviathan. This is one of the creatures that we don't care. It doesn't have any abilities. It is still nice. And wow, it's you have 8/8/7. It's nice. I mean, you have above the attack defense cap for these costs, and it makes it working nicely. Okay, these are nice cards to play because they push deal damage to your opponent. Okay, here is one thing. Normally, the cards in Elder Scrolls Legend got like summon deal 1 damage. This is really good card because you can deal this 1 damage to a creature or to a face. So if you have creature with 1 HP, you can summon this in and 1 defense and kill it instantly.
Or take off the ward.
Or take off the ward, yeah. Yeah, this
Which
is
I think more common.
Yes, it is very common to take off ward, opponents or your own ward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we have restricted this to 1 damage to your opponent because what we are talking before, it will be too difficult to allow targeting creatures, other creatures with summon. This is the greatest creature in the game. It summon deal 2 damage to each player. This is the only creature which allows you to make and kind of a draw, yeah, because it allows you to end game with having both players 0 or negative HP in the same turn. And if you are interested, the fix is already pushed. So in this case, in this very unlikely event, which you always hear in the planes, in this very unlikely event of the crash of the game when both players are at 0 HP, the player whose turn is winner. So put in the other words, whoever summons the afflicted allied wins. And this card is actually quite playable. It's quite often choice for fast decks. Maybe we should talk a little bit at least about the decks, actually, how they are made. Because when you play card games, there are 4 types of decks. Correct me if I'm wrong. First one is called aggro deck. It's focused on the cheap cards, like not. You don't have. If we have this thing called mana curve, oh, it's here. It can show you how many cards of 0 cost, 1 cost, blah blah blah, and 7 plus cards cost you have. So the aggro decks have a lot of cards like here and nearly nothing here, because the idea, yeah, that the goal for the deck is to actually end the game before turn like 7, 8, 9, and you do it by making like high attack creatures combos and push many these low cost creatures with multiple attack, and maximally goes to the opponent. So you often just simply ignore everything on the opponent's board except guards and only go face. It's called Smorg, simple-minded orc in Hearthstone, as I know. Yeah. And usually it's about this turn 8 or something like that. It's visible when
the hand is getting empty, the board is getting empty, and you have nothing to do.
Yeah, you have nothing to do. The opponent, if you lose your steam before you finish your opponent, you're actually done, because you don't have anything to play. This is a lot of situations like you have anything on your hand, anything on your body, like you said before, and yeah. The other idea is it's called. When you have try to maximally push anything on your turn, like it's middle or it's middle range, yeah. Middle range got some kind of like balanced curve, and the goal is that you try to push this summon the strongest card with every turn. So the idea is that I have high probability that in turn 5 I will have here the combination of cards that I can play for 5. Ideally, it's kind of a 5 creature to summon, so it's kind of I'm maximally strong on the curve. The other idea is called
I don't know the names. I just play it.
Oh Jesus Christ! I was thinking.
And that's how we're thinking. Like really.
Oh God, you're awful. You're mean. I'm going out of the camera to think. Control, yeah. I was thinking about control, and the goal for the control is to survive first few turns, and have strong late game cards and play for the board. So the ideally for the control is that after your turn, the opponent has nearly nothing on his side of the board. Your creatures are only one. So this way you are able to actually control the game, because if he summons something and without the charge, it doesn't do anything except the summon abilities. It's not allowed to attack here, so you can kind of safely destroy it with what is left from your previous turn here and summon new stuff. Yeah. So and I'm pretty sure here, if we are kind of talking about the meta in Elder Scrolls Legends, in Legends of Code and Magic, I think the control is the way to go, because it's very hard to make a good aggro deck from the choices of the during the draft, during the arena.
Yeah.
I mean, because aggro decks are very hard to construct. I mean, every card is important and its role is very very important. And so you can try to do some middle range, and you can try to make pretty good control decks, I suppose.
And also control decks are easy to do in here because nothing is happening in your turn. Like we don't have the last gust, we don't have the prophecies, so everything you do, you done it. Like if you hit the face, then you hit the face, and there's nothing left what can make you surprised or anything.
Yeah. So the control is kind of an easier. However, the goal for control is to actually deal the damage ideally to maximally make your creatures alive and destroy the opponent's creature, which is a lot of you can't do it with simple heuristic heuristic player. You have to do some search to be able to make at least a decent control player. The last type is called Jesus Christ. The idea is that you are trying to put the cards which will give you the combo, yeah, the combination of cards that will give you some instant win. We nearly don't have this type here, except there are one or two possibilities that you can try, but as we are based on arena, the probability of this is very very low. Usually if you are aiming to this type of player, it's only possible in constructed. Okay, so why I started talking, because this card is really nice for the aggro player, aggro decks, when you have more health than the opponent. So removing two of both removing health from both players, it actually makes you closer to win.
Late game deck.
Aggro mid range or control. I mean, I don't. What's your question really about? I mean, I suppose that the control is. I mean, control is more about late game, and I suppose here it's easier to go control.
Yeah.
I mean, but you cannot abandon the first few turns entirely. You need to put something here. I had some AIs that play like only big creatures, and I was nearly done before this turn 7 because I had nothing on board. This is okay. These are a little bit nice cards for gain your health, draw a card. Draw a cards are really these are really good choices for an early game because they makes you increase your number of possibilities. I mean, it can kill your search, of course, because you have too much possibilities. But from the gameplay point of view, this card is kind of played really, really often because I put the card, it gives me some early, it allows me some trades. 1, 2, 4, 2, it's not the worst in the world, and it allows me to draw a card. Common Heal is really nice card to damage to your opponent. This is also nice. I think pretty all creatures that have draw a card are nice. This is pretty good. For 6 you get 5/2 with card. Oh no, maybe
Breakthrough.
with breakthrough, but you get very low health. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is cool card. Truth or Jar normally is restricted that you need to have more health than the opponent, and then you draw 2 cards. We cannot restrict like this in Legends of Cold and Magic, so we simply put 4/4, draw 2 cards. 4/4 it's not bad, but drawing 2 cards is kind of insane. So it's still a good card to have. This is also cool because here it's a restriction, kind of a strong, and here we just allow to draw a card. Okay, starting with Drain and things like that. Drain is it's always nice to have Drain. Actually, I mean there are strategies when you don't want to have Drain early on. It is when you want to increase your number of available moves, but so you allow the opponent to take your HP to have break runes, and so you increase your number of cards, and only late game you start to actually drain stuff and give your health back. But these are very kind of maybe not very, but they are kind of advanced tactics for playing games.
Because it's simply risky.
Yeah, it's risky here. This is a cool card. It is played a lot in Elder Scrolls Legend for the violet color. 2/3 drain and guard. It's really cool. If you have it, just take it. This is another cool creature. You get charge and drain. Maybe it's not very powerful because it's 2/2. It's played a lot in Legends, but because of the tricky stuff like summoning from graveyard and buffing it with 2/5/5 or 7s, you summon see the 7/7 bats for 3. But even here, it's still good to remove some nasty opponent's creatures and makes you gain health at least a little. Moonlight Warrior, but it's not played a lot, but it's kind of nice. 5/5 drain for 6. It's nice. It's based on legendary, but this legendary usually have it has some more text on it. For our game is simply 5/5 for 6, which I think is good creature. This is good. This is a creature which is really good in Elder Scrolls Legend. I think it should be nerfed here, even. I can say that. Because it's 3/7 little, which means you nearly totally control the lane. And here the lane is the entire game. Because 7 health allows you to survive at least 2 attacks of the opponent. So you can, this card can remove 2 or even 3 creatures of the opponent, and if you attack on your turn, it even gives you drain, which makes like +6 health, remove 2 creatures, something like that. It's really cool. Night Shadow is cool card, but I see is summon you lose 3 health, which means they nerf it. I don't know why. I love this card. I like it, and actually it's not overpowered. I suppose even in Legends. I don't see a card with uh, 100. Maybe it will be. Oh, it will be later probably. Yes, I see it. This is legendary 977 Drain. It is an upgraded legendary, but still it is a legendary in the Elder Scrolls Legends. 7/7 Drain. If it survives the next turn, it give you lot of health, and you can attack a lot. 9 is costly, but it's still good. This is a strange card, but I like it. I think they nerf it? No. I think this is a good way to go. Definitely, if you called why it was like this 1/5 plotted thought, 1/5 for 2, because here we have Quarak and Bloodkin, which is 1/5 plus Drain, which is still better. And here, this is even by Pete Hines, who is kind of a creator of Morrowind and often streams and is very active on the Elder Scrolls Legends. This is the most powerful creature in the Elder Scrolls Legends. For 2, you got 1, 2, pro guard and little, which means you can make the opponent cry, because you summon it. Even without prophecy, it's very good card. It allows you to protect your own creatures and make any attackers except the worst attackers to actually be dead. This is nice card, but nothing really great. Although I think all littles are a little bit too powered here because we have this one line setting. This is a great card. This is upgraded version of this card, which is, as you can see, this one is strictly better. So this one is good. This one is in theory is bad, but being honest, little here with 4 defense is still good. It can survive 1 attack at least, and it kills at least 1 creature, so it's still good. I love this card. This is actually this is actually a removal. You got charge little 1/1 for 4. It's like choose a creature to remove and play it from the hand, and it is gone. This is very nice creature. Sanctuary Pet. It's for 3 to 2 little. It's played a lot, but it has additional rules. But it's still okay. Okay, we're starting to regenerate. Originally, this Oldgate Warden, it's bad for constructed decks, but it's cool for arena because you get guard and regenerate. So you have to put 5 damage on it, and if you don't, the guard is still alive, so you cannot push damage to other creatures or to face. Sadly, this is the thing we didn't do anything about, because we removed regenerate and left it 0/5 guard for 2, which means this card, in my opinion, is garbage. It's so garbage that, oh my god.
Okay, so maybe I don't want to interrupt, but after 20 minutes, we are not even in the half.
Oh, come on. Okay, you want me to go to some nice creatures?
No, I'm just saying that people are leaving.
So people, because we are talking, because we like talking, I like talking. The question is, we want to actually activate the chat. I mean, if you have any questions, just you can ask them, because we are allowed to talk about nearly I suppose everything except some personal things during the game creation, which we actually covered a little about game creation already. If you want me to uh, tell something more, okay, everyone knows this is cool. There were some nice creatures that I know some people do not put high heuristic value on, and I think they're cool. Um, for example, no have words. These are charged creatures which are great. Uh, they nerfed tier to 5. I don't know why. It is bad legendary on its own.
Yeah.
Uncano is great. Uncano is great. You get 5548 and you blue cards. Okay, so we will just go to blue cards nearly straight away. Uh, Making 5 damage to the even to the face is really nice. Taskat is cool. It's make you charge for 6, which means face damage for 6. Hand of Dagot is really, if you only have a choice, just take it. Oh, but they make it cost too much. It should cost 6 at most, I suppose. Which is nice. This is nice card. These cards, this is Flying Brick, 4/4 charge. Just take it whenever you can. Okay, I'll go to that. Wildom is the cool card. The Dark Guardian is a cool card. You should always take it as a guard, and the Hive Defender. Hive Defender is also cool. It is took whenever possible. Porticulus is kind of nice. It's 0/9 guard. If you give any item to it, it's nice. Tigers, Tyrants. These are very good cards. This is the best card in the game, actually. All keywords except Sect Regenerate, and it's all keywords. And this is also nice. It's very costly, but making guard and ward, it's
With 5 attack.
it's with 5 attack. Okay, I wanted to talk about green items, but I will start as a request for the blue items. Where start blue items?
Below. Here. Item blue.
Healing point. Okay, healing portion is not played. Nearly at all, but we think it has to be a card like that. So maybe there are worse choices. I mean, it's better to have drain creature than this, yeah. 2 damage to your opponent, draw a card. This is not a bad card. For 2, it allows you to hurt your opponent a little, and it gives you I will talk about the combinations with the green items, because there are some cool stuff in green items, but the request was for blue. So it's a good card, I suppose, but not super good.
Maybe it's not super good when you draw a card after the opponent action. It's actually really good in the original test, because you just throw it and then take another one.
Oh yes, that's good. You waste 2, but you have other option that you can use at this right after using this. A Scroll of Firebolt, actually it was a crushing blow, and they buffed it. I don't know, I think it's kind of a strong. I think this is a good card. Why? Because it gives you a lot of possibilities. 3 damage for 3 allows you to remove a lot of opponent creatures,
Or at least finish them.
And because it's a blue item, you can put this damage on face. The same goes with this, which I have no idea what it costs 3. I think it should still cost 4, So I think this is a card to go. Uh, oh no, this is wait. This is Thievery. This is okay, but this is for opponent. I was thinking about this. Tome of Thunder. Deal 4 damage. This is the same situation, but you have the same price as this, but you can put this 4 damage wherever you can. If you have like 2 of this in your hand, it makes your actions really flexible. You can instantly put, regardless of any guards, put your opponent down from 8 HP to 0. So 8 HP, it's usually you think you're quite safe, and in one turn you got to 0, yeah? And the same with the Scroll of Firebolt, because they buff it here. And you still, if you if your situation on board looks badly, you can still use it to clear a board. So I think this card and this card are pretty strong, really. Uh, this is nice, but yeah, it's not so good as in normal game, because the draw goes the turn after. I think this is cool also. I think this is really cool, because normally Ransack, the difference between Thievery is that Thievery forces to damage the opponent, and Ransack allows you to damage anything, and normally costs 6. Coding game buffs it to cost only 4, so I think this is the third blue card, which is really cool. You can do paying 1 more mana to Scroll of Firebolt, you gain 3 health, and you still do 3 damage wherever you can. This is not so great, but it's doable. But I suppose these 3 cards, this Tome of Thunder and this, are really good. I mean, they, if used properly, because of their flexibility, they can change the game.
And maybe while going back to the green items, maybe just step forward in the red ones.
First red or first green?
Maybe first red, because the green are longer story, especially with the combinations.
Yeah. The red are pretty like okay. The red are pretty nice because they allow you to remove some things from the board without actually wasting your creatures. This is based -1/1 for 0. It's really good. It's really good also because you can reduce the opponent's attack, which makes it 0, for example, and that it's cool because you make the creature totally unplayable. If you put it, for example, on a creature that have 1 attack and little, you just make it
disable it.
Yeah, you just simply disable it.
Yeah, but what is important in the original The Elder Scrolls, there are cards which are working on the wounded creatures, and a wounded creature is a creature which has the maximum health reduced. So right now this card is somehow less important, because now we don't have such special abilities.
Yeah.
But when you have the special abilities on the wounded creatures, like you can kill wounded creature, you can charge with wounded creature in the enemy lane, and so on. So then it really makes even more sense. Like
yeah, even these stupid damages like -1, -2 have really nice sense.
Yeah.
This is rarely taken. It silences. What means silences? It removes all keywords from the creature. It may be useful. It may be situational, but you know, if you see this on the opponent's side, then really having some stuff, things like this to silence a creature is you wish to have it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's very situational.
But I think in general it's really great because you can suppress lethal, you can suppress guards,
Yeah,
And I
yes,
think
yes.
that or suppress the word. Like these are the three most common things to suppress.
Yeah, so
But
I think this card is good here.
Yeah, especially as we have only one lane, then removing the guard or removing
Yeah.
the lethal is especially strong.
You can remove the simply remove a guard from one creature and just push all your damage to the face. This is for 0 remove guard. It can be good. It can be very useful, but only for the finisher. So I suppose I don't think that this card is so really good. But if you are close to finish, it's good. But in the middle of the game, it doesn't make so much sense, I suppose.
It's also a bit different in the test because you can remove guard from your creature, and it's also important because you can have some guard. You can look at like you can buff your card and add it guard, but then you don't want to have guard on it. You just want to add the damage or add the defense, and then just get rid of the guard. So it's also
yeah.
a bit different.
That's because if you want to hide opponent, if you want to hide some creature from the opponent attack, and
Exactly.
it is given guard by the opponent or some other situation, you may want to remove it. This is good. Simply deal 2 damage to a creature. It's for 1. It's nice. It's useful. This is also nice. Maybe a little bit costly for 3, but still the same thing. It gives you -2/-2, which means you reduce the attack of -2, which may be helpful. It may be really helpful, even if it not reduces to 0. You can reduce the damage made to your creature. The same with card Scimitar. They even buffed it, which I think is good. Deal 2 damage to your opponent. So this card, I think it's quite strong here. For 4 you got -2/-2 and -2 to your opponent. So I like it after the buff. 1 damage to enemy creature. Draw a card. I have no idea why they make it 2. It should be 1. It's overcosted. I'm very sorry. I love this card. I use it thousands of times. It's overcosted here now, because the draw is weaker. This is bad. Remove all abilities from an enemy, then deal 2 damage to it. It's good. It's silence with -2 damage additionally. So you pay 2 instead of 0, but I think it's too much mana. Maybe you talk about quick shot is I'm sorry for comparison with Tess, but it's partially I commented on Tess first of all to allow me thinking about his cards at all, and the other it's kind of it's a little bit insight from it's a little bit insight of the process of creation, how some cards change. I think it's more important, but just hurt me if I will use too much that references.
Yeah, but I'm also saying that because more or less we are just saying that more of the card, like I think most of the cards are somehow imbalanced because we took the original Tesla cards and then they got debuffed in some way. Like removed the ability, we added the delay for a draw or something. Yeah. So more or less we are just trying to explain why some cards are better or worse in this very game. Not in general, but in this very game.
Yes, this is a silence plus draw for 3. I don't know, it is good. I think it should be for 2. 3 is a little bit overcosted. I suppose. Yeah. But either way, it is good to have some silence on your way. And this is -99 and silence, which is actually removal. The original text goes here: destroy a creature. So this destroy a creature, this was the best way how we can implement the mechanic of destroy a creature, because remember that first you remove all keywords from the red stuff, then you apply damage. So it's a great way. In one turn, you remove a guard warded creature, because first you remove ward, then you put damage. The same goes like here. First you remove ward, then you apply damage. So these cards are really nice because they counter the ward. Minus 7 damage for 7 and draw a card. It's a nice card. It's a little bit weaker because of the draw, but it still allows you to, if the opponent have a strong creature, you simply remove it. Yeah. So this card is taken sometimes. So if you want to summary red cards, what kind of it's good to have silence, that's for sure. Whenever you can, try to get a removal. If you have
at least one.
yeah. If you have it on a draw, it's I suppose it's must take for a pick. The other stuff are more, I don't know. This is good. This is not bad. I suppose it. Yeah. Okay, green ones. I think green items are really cool, and I know some of the players do not care about red and blue items and only care about the green, and that may be a good approach. Is 7 damage enough?
The draw is late, but yeah, we think so.
I mean, 7 damage still removes
Most of the creatures.
most of the creatures. That's one. And if you have creatures that has more than 7 than 7 defense, you have to waste a lot of creatures to destroy it. And this card makes you, I don't know, lose only one of them. Remember that when you destroy some opponent creature using your creature, it actually took you, in most of the times, 2 turns to prepare this attack, because you had to summon and then you are allowed to attack. So it's kind of a slow paced, and using items from the hand, is good because it's kind of instant action. So the main good side of these items is that because they work instantly. Yeah, and this is especially goes for green items. It should be for 0, but it's for 1 you get 1/1 from breakthrough. It's like okay, you just buff your creature, and if it was crappy before, then it's less crappy now, and it's instant. If you have a creature on board, you can just buff it now and use it. You always have to use, unless your AI is stupid, should use green items before they attack. Yeah, so your attacks are strictly better. So this is the power of them, that you can change the game instantly, and usually summoning a creature doesn't change the game instantly. Royal Herald, normally you don't care about this card, it's crappy, but here it can be not so good, not so bad because it's 0. +2/+2 for 1, they make it worse. I don't like it. If it will be normally +2/+2, I will say take it always, it's a great card. Here I don't like it. This is great, even if they nerf it a little. We don't care. +1, 0, and for 2 you have little. I think it must be. I think it's a sure pick for this game.
It even might be +0/+0, but little.
Yeah. Even +0/+0, but little. Whenever, because the same. The power of this card is that you don't play the little creature on board. You have some creatures, and if you want to remove enemy, you simply use make your weakest creature eat venom fruit, attack the opponent, and it works like removal.
Maybe you put on the light, because
yeah, you can do it. This is nice card here. 0+3, draw a card. It makes it workable. I think it's not great, but nice. This can be useful if you care about guards and want to strictly use defenses. +1, +3, and guard only for 2. I think it's a good item. I like it. I'm pretty sure it's even from the Morrowind expansion. Okay, I shouldn't do test references. I'm sorry. Okay, they made it +40 instead of +30. So for me, it's kind of a must be. It's a cool card. +40 for 2 is cool. You just actually in many creatures you just double your attack for kind of a 2. I will take it anytime. Give a drain +2/+1 and drain. It's kind of a cheap, only for 3, so I think it's good.
If I'd be bot, I'd pick it.
If I well, I pick it. Blood grapes are healthy wedges initially gave regenerate. Regenerate was cat, so it's only give you +1, +4 for 3, so I don't bother. This item sucks. +2, +3 for 3. This item sucks. +6 defense for 3. Normally as a player, this card is very annoying, but nearly never played. But here I think it's good. I think here if you buff the right card, like your guard or something like that, it can go very nasty.
Yeah.
So I think this card is good.
Are you calling about?
If you like, we can.
Yeah, we will. I think in
Few minutes probably. 4 +4 +3. I don't know. It's good, but it's good. It's good. To 5, I don't like it, but it may be if you go for defense, it's good. This is gave you +4 coding game nerf it. I don't know why. I think it's a little bit too overkill now. This was for 3, 0, 6, and this is 0, 6 +4 for 4. It's another good item, I suppose.
yeah.
It's pretty good
Maybe
now.
let's get to the combos right now.
The combos. What is really nice combos? Wait. Is there anything interesting? +40 is card. Oh, you should always play it. I mean, always took it. This card is really cool. It's based on the legend, no legendary, but restricted to bottle mage. It's really cool. This is not the best. Plus ward. It may be. It costs 2. No, it's overpriced. I think a little.
Everything that gives you ward or lethal or both,
Yeah,
it's
this
really
is
great.
good. This is from 3. It's cost 4 here, but I think this is another card that it must pick. Okay, so the most interesting card here is this. I have to do a test reference. I'm sorry about that. Originally it said Swift Ride, and it works like this. If your creature attacked at this turn, it can attack the second time. And in our game, it works completely the opposite. If you, because it's not trivial card. If you summon a creature which doesn't have a charge, so it cannot attack at this very turn yet, and you put a grow wings on that creature, it can attack now. Sadly, this is a card that have to be treated specially, because in theory it gives you charge, but it gives you a charge after a summon. So if you want to use this card, yes, you have to code this. You have to actually entire branch on this card. But this is a card that makes you make a combos. Okay, you can't summon creature that costs more than 10, because you have to summon creature and use this card. in the same turn. But there are many cards, like you have some this 8847 or something like that, and if you put grow wings on that, you get 8 damage from the hand, like yeah, for kind of a 10
Or little.
or little, yeah, or little from the hand or whatever. So you can put it on any creature and really increase your number of increase your power on the board. So this, if I will say that, is there any combo play here, it's definitely based on grow wings, and even it can save your life. Like you have this creature with kind of a 7 drain and they have to survive or something like that. You use that creature, use the grow wings, and you have 7 health more and creature on board.
Yeah.
So it's
Or
really
even
cool.
get the 9-1 for 4, add the charge.
Oh yes.
So we get it for 6.
Oh yes. Also, or this even early game creatures that we were like, oh, are they able to survive like this 9-1 4-4? Yeah, is it able to survive? We don't care. We put the grow wings on it and we get 9 for. This is actually cool. For 6 you get 9 damage on the hand. This is killer. Yeah, you can kill the opponent or do whatever. It's really cool.
Or even add it a ward and then you get 13-1
Yeah,
with 2 attacks.
Yeah. So some of the green cards, if you are able to combine them, are pretty cool. I think we're done with the cards. Oh Jesus Christ! You want to call the bot actually? Maybe you want to call it. I will- You don't want?
I can't read that, so I can write something from my head. Or
It's not a code here. Jesus Christ.
I know it's not a code, but you got an idea of what
Okay.
exactly you want to code.
So you want us to write some kind of code?
To go to a bronze.
To go to a bronze. That's not a problem. I will try to show you the most lazy, basic approach to actually do it.
Okay, we got a question about why 160 cards. I think we started with far.
No. It was like I put all the cards from Elder Scrolls Legends that I was able to express in our framework without too much changes, and try to do maximal number of cards. I suppose it was kind of 159 or something like that, so I put one more card to make it, to the nicely looking number. So it's like maximal number of cards I was able to copy from Elder Scrolls Legends. Sorry about that. So let's try to do it. So first of all, the draft phase. We will check the draft phase. Lazy approach is
So as a guess, we start with just doing some simple heuristic with some.
my mana. I think we should. Oh no! Jesus Christ! It's stupid. Remove this damn thing and make it. Oh. Actually, we don't care about any this. I don't care about this. Okay. I will.
So maybe let's do it like this. You tell the idea and I'll write the code. Okay?
Okay. You have this. You have your own keyboards. Get away from my keyboard.
But you don't. You have to leave that.
Okay. So the idea for the draft is to simply took, let's say, the creature with the highest attack.
It's really weird to code like in there.
We can switch.
Nope. That's what I said.
Okay, you said that way. Okay, so we can switch.
So yeah, just say something.
Something. Okay, so we will do a very basic.
What exactly you want to do? We want to play with the highest cost or some
No,
simple heuristic?
My idea was to take the creature with the highest attack. Why not? We go Smork. We get very, very easy bot, which makes the most Attack, very simple. I'm not sure if it is able to go to silver. Your bot was able to go to silver, but you have some heuristics.
Yeah, but it got like I think 2 lines of definition.
Yeah, I know. But mine took 1 line of definition. So I suppose what we need here, it's
Only the attack.
only we will need 3 things.
Whatever, we have everything, so we can just play it.
Okay, so what we will need is instance, attack, and you want to do this like this. Oh, sorted.
By
Oh.
attack, right?
Yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Python.
Yeah, Python.
No, I'm just reading the chat.
You want? We can write in Lua. You want Lua?
Eventually JavaScript or C, but no Java. He can write Java.
I don't. I can't write Java. No, Java is awful.
You
I
said
mean-
it on the forum.
That I can write Java? If I must. If I must. That doesn't count. Car sorted, yeah.
And now we just have to attack the guards? Or no, we don't
We don't have guards. First use if mana is 0, if player mana 0, because we are checking the if we are in the draft phase. Normally I will do a loop 30 turns loop before, but let's took it lazy. Pick. It's Python 3. You need these strange things
No,
like
it's
parentheses.
Python.
Python is Python 3 here in
Ah.
coding game.
Okay.
It's Python 2 got yeah. No Java. Have some decency. Yes, no Java.
I won't let him.
I don't want it. I'm use C#. Plus, yeah, the first one.
And now we want to get the instance ID or the card number because I don't remember right now.
No, you always no 013. So, oh Jesus Christ!
Which one
Sort
is it?
no, this is stupid because you sorted it. You know they are in order.
Okay.
You have to make a
so-
loop,
No.
like a
No.
okay. Okay.
We can test it.
You can test it.
Just give us some time. Okay.
It's not Lua. It has to be made on string. You played. Pick one. Okay. Oh, you have a print pass, so you can code. That's a hack.
No. It's a solution.
Okay, that's cool hack. Okay, so is this working? Probably. I hope.
No, because the sorted is reversed.
Reverse
It's
true.
reverse or reversed?
Reverse. Probably. If it don't blow up, it's okay. Yeah,
4, 5,
7. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, we have something.
We have something.
And now we are passing.
So we got else, so the game turn.
And as this print is not causing a syntax error, then it's Python 2.
Maybe? Maybe you're right. Okay, don't care which Python it is. Print as has to do. Whatever. Okay, maybe you're right. I am right.
Action.
Okay, so okay, that's good. So what actions do we want? First, we want to use Python 3. We can actually
Is there a
You have to copy it. Copy the code.
No, I know. Ah, here's the
Let's go ahead. Okay, copy the code. Yes, and paste the code. And
change the row input.
row input, and X range you have here.
But I think X range is already working.
Play.
Okay.
Play. Let us check it. Row input.
Where is the row? It's here. And it's off the screen. Funny thing, we were told that the stub might not take, I think, more than 120 lines of Java or something like that. And the first stub was, I think, over 200 lines of Java. So yeah, we are really fancy with those 28 or something at the beginning.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
over
good.
30 of Python.
Remember that you can always print a command that is valid, but it's not actually a legal move.
Yeah.
So I think we will use that. So for all our card, just summon them. For all our hand, just summon it. You don't want to filter here of my hand.
We'll do it in here. Just which one is the instance ID? Is the wait? Now it's not. It's card 1, 2. So we can also try to summon the cards from board. Engine will just ignore it.
The shortest, the laziest boss ever. Yeah, we can actually try summon.
Summon everything.
No, summon item. Summon items will work or not? I have no idea.
We have to try it.
We have to try it. Okay.
So we summon everything.
We summon everything.
And then we attack.
With everything.
With this attack, with this card, we attack every other card.
No. Just go face.
Okay.
Just go face for now.
There's no guard for now, so.
Just go face.
So attack
minus one. Okay, let's check it. We should be able to win actually with this bot.
Not really.
Not really. Why?
Because we focus on the face.
No. That should work. Wait a while.
Or maybe 0, 1.
Wait,
2.
action is not legal summon. Show us our attack. We're red.
I'm trying to.
Attack 11.
Which one is 11? Instance ID 1, 5,
11.
Minus 1.
It should work.
I think it's freshly summoned.
Okay. But we should be able to win with this, I suppose.
That's the instance ID. Yeah, but I think that's the answer.
Yeah, what?
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, that might.
So it's actually pretty weird. It's even done something.
Oh yes, because we made one move at the turn, yeah?
Yeah.
But it was mostly summon.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah. Okay, we can submit it.
And we wait.
No, we don't care.
You can do it.
No, we don't care, just code.
But we can do it. Just maybe let's wait for the first 10 at least.
No.
You get your mouse, I wait with mine.
Oh, I get my mouse. No, this is my mouse.
I'm never going to do that again. Oh, and we win all of the battles. So yeah, more or less, it's working.
Yeah, it's working, more or less. Now we got a problem, and our problem is that there are opponent guards, and we can't totally ignore them, but we can partially ignore them.
Yeah, you can ignore them like At first we attack. We get for each card.
Yeah, do exactly like that. And it will be the laziest boss ever.
If this card has a guard. So if card
No, don't bother. Maybe.
we want to attack the face and not control the board.
Okay, I wanted one line. I wanted to cut this one line.
Okay, it's not a
Oh
problem.
no, okay, you will do a filter. That's
No, I just do it if.
okay.
And now we got the control deck. And actually, to be honest, that's my first bot, but I don't have sorting by attack. I get a simple heuristic, and this was, I guess, something about 66 during the sprint.
Okay.
And yeah, that's more or less it.
I use we are winning or how
We are winning.
no, but go to the
Yeah,
end.
and we are even controlling the board.
Great, because one of my ideas was here I was sorting for a card 6 plus 2 if there is. Oh no, don't call it heuristic. It's too much. No, we want to have a few liner.
Next
league. We already coded for the next league. Level 8.
Keep coding. Got it. Okay. Now I can go back because
Really?
it got to the next league. So we'll call it heuristic for now.
No, my idea was just to.
Okay.
Oh, you got it. Plus 2 when guard. I bonus the guard to. But we can go without it. Let's go as far as we can without it. Summon.
Okay, so
Summon. Or
what
we-
sound?
Because we have new version. Submit, whatever.
No, we are just going up.
But sub.
It's working automatically.
But yeah, but we added this stuff. Yeah?
No, I think it's going with
No.
it.
I suppose
Okay.
not.
Yep.
We did not test that. Ah.
History button. Yeah, we got history button.
Yeah, I know, but it was one click to match. Golf it. Oh yeah, we are actually trying to golf it, yeah? Oh, that's what Python is good for golfing.
42 after first evaluation.
But we win nearly everything.
I think literally every. No.
Okay, except the first.
And we are 20.
Yeah, so we should be. I really think in the Wood Leagues we should only play against bosses.
I think it's pretty bad that we took like over 2 hours to describe the game and then in 20 minutes we got to next league.
Yeah. It's. I mean, we know that this sprint was. Yeah, actually, there was questions about the format of the competitions. So, Just Coding Game told us that they want to try this format 4 hours plus 4 weeks, and I'm pretty sure the 4 weeks are great. I really hope that this game is deep enough that it can be played in the multi, so it will have its life after the contest. But still, I mean, in 7 days, in 10 days, it's not possible to write anything. I have a kind of a entire notebook of strategies I want to try, and it will take me about. Don't look at it. And it will take me about 2 months to code at least some of them. So I think if you guys have more time, I hope you have, then like 4 weeks, it's enough to reach kind of a depthness of this game. I mean, because it's hard to start, but we are just showing you that the starting is really easy.
Yeah.
And after that, there are always some kind of tiny things you can add, and they will, with kind of a high probability, increase the performance of your bot. Yeah. And I want to talk about strategies later, probably. Yeah.
Multi is dead, not many active players. more or less we are trying to encourage people to do the multi in this very game because we probably will add something in the multi. At least we were trying to. At least we'll discuss to add something in the multi.
I think I won't push to revert back regenerate because it's too complicated.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about showing the actions.
Yes, showing the actions is a must. Yeah, but I don't think that there will be some game-changing changes.
No, I think the same engine will work, or
Yeah.
at least you just had to ignore a few lines in the input, but more or less it will be working.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to add new stuff. The only thing I want to make the input cover more stuff. And about the multis that not many active players. Don't worry, this year I will force my students to play Legends of Code and Magic. So there will be at least a few players who will play it. Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not a student anymore.
Yes, you're not. You made most of the things, but there will be seminar about AI for games. Yeah.
Okay, and now we are in the wood one.
We're in the wood one,
And
so
we ignore items. So I think the only thing that we may be killed with is the error that we'll have to summon an item.
okay, we will see if we
Okay,
can.
but we are second at the moment.
Yeah, so we pretty
Lucky Radek. Yeah, lucky me.
Uh, you actually did nearly all my courses with near the highest score.
And now I know
mo-
you better.
Mostly he made highest score because we did other stuff, so you get additional points of making stuff not related to the subject, like some kind of a bonus point. Okay, so we're done. Beautiful. So we got about
Literally 1, 2, 3, or maybe just to make it clear, 3, 5, 6, about 10 lines
Yeah.
added.
So we have bronze bot in 10 lines, so no one can say that this game is complicated, too complicated, and so on. Why you think I have my own mouse? Yep.
It's not clicking, I said.
Because it's your mouse. I was thinking that it's so weird mouse. It's your mouse.
Yeah, so okay, so basically we are
we're done.
yeah.
You want to talk about something? I will go for a while and be back in a moment.
4 hour sprint. Yeah, the 4 hour sprint was the coding game
Idea, yeah.
and we just agreed on that. Because of the 4 hour sprint, we just get rid of the regenerate at some level. And yeah, more or less I'm alone right now, so if you have something, just ask. But it's recorded, so maybe I just shouldn't say that. Okay, but anyway, I think it's quite important that it's really easy to start. It's maybe not that easy to master, especially with some possibilities in research, in a way, maybe not in a way, but at some level we did it, especially to have the engine, and Kat was really crazy about the engine, about thinking about it and just writing it. So we have something working and we have something to research, and as he said, we have something. I just remember the sprint now saying your short bot. Okay. Maybe it was short on the code, but it's really important to know that most of the short bots are just using the fact that the engine is just ignoring the invalid actions. And this was something we agreed on the early stage, because we wanted the game to really easy start. Like, we started with a stub which was over 200 lines on Java, and it was really problem to go with it for the life, because if someone have to read all these rules, and the list is really crazy. I have it somewhere. Yeah, and the rules are really crazy. And now, additionally, if you have like 20 lines more of the input, and then you got 20 lines more to just start playing the game, it's really problematic. So ignoring the actions is really great, and we are making kind of abuse of it right now. Are you going to improve your bot? Uh, well, I was thinking about making some machine learning to improve the heuristic, but nothing special yet. Additionally, my bot was not using items at all, so I'm trying to do something with that. And you are back. And probably just to attach the items, and I think we can start with items also in here, just to make use of them, like any use of them. And yeah, just make some play with the heuristic, maybe do some flat search, but I don't think 50 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds right now is long enough to do anything like
Okay,
complete.
if we are talking with the chat, I got two ideas what to do now. One is kind of talking and thinking about the strategies. I don't suppose we should. I mean, I like we show this simple bot, but I think for kind of a more heuristic-sized coding, you should go to Ricar's streams, which are good, and like them, especially the one, containing stream buffers or what's it called? Bitstreams.
Okay,
So
one more question.
yeah, what about non-strategies? Okay.
So maybe it's a longer topic, I think. So maybe just give me a minute.
Okay. It's a long topic. Yeah, I can talk about it. Like
We got half a notebook of it in here, so we can just talk about it later. And are we aiming for the higher rank in the contest? I think I'm not aiming for anything else than maybe gold in the contest. I don't know how about you. I'm going to play a bit more with it during the multi-stage, because in the contest, like, we got only 2 weeks more, I think. No,
Okay, so
3 weeks more.
yeah, the problem is that both me and Radek are going to Maastricht for the CIG next week, so we will be the entire week on the conference.
On different game.
On different game, but as I said, there will be a Hearthstone AI competition, so I will definitely tell you something if we will see something interesting or maybe some new papers on this.
Yeah.
So my problem here is that I don't have time. Maybe I will try to get to gold, but after the game is the competition
Is it open already, or which league? Is
no
it?
gold is in 2 days. No. You got here 8-10.
Okay, so we know when it's open, but I wanted to check like how many people are in bronze.
Okay.
Where exactly am I?
Where are you?
Okay, many achievements. Okay, the silver is already open, and we got like 13 people with silver. Oh,
It's filtered on something. No, it's
Uh,
filtered on Poland probably.
okay.
It's automatically filtered
Okay,
on
but-
Poland.
I'm in bronze, so
Yeah, you are.
it's great.
I'm in silver. Okay, so backing a little bit to the topic, we want to make some research based on this game. A few things, mostly evolutionary algorithm, a little bit of algorithm stuff, and a little bit of some theoretical work about the probabilities of draft and also about the cutting the search. This is another topic I want to talk about because the game tree is kind of a huge. Theoretically, for the first action, you have 8 to the power of 14 allowed moves. Yeah. In practice, it is less, of course, but it's still a really high branching factor. However, there are many sequences of actions that may end up in the same state, and you can, by making wise search, you can reduce the number. Yeah, when you don't care about. In some cases, you care about permutations. In some don't.
Yeah, but also what is I think more important and I think more interesting, you don't care about some permutations at all because these are simply stupid. Like you don't apply item before
Yeah.
attacking.
Yes.
In most cases.
Yes, yes,
Not in
yes.
general,
Because
but-
yeah. So I think we will mostly play the game and do some stuff about it after the game,
Yeah.
after the competition. So I really hope the multi will work. There was a crazy idea about making, but I see it like not sooner than in 1 or 2 years, like make Legends second.
Yeah, because more or less we got the engine separated from the
Yeah.
from the coding game engine, so we wanted to make it like a separate game,
Yeah.
playable online and
Yeah.
playable by either your bot or a player. So we can just
That
prepare
could
an
be
AI
really cool.
where you can play manually with a bot.
Yeah.
And more or less, I tried to do that yesterday,
Okay.
just to package
Mhm.
this the game, and it's doable. Like it's hard to think about the UI, I
Mhm.
think, at this stage, but yeah, it's doable, and more or less we are very interested in doing that.
Yes, this will allow to play you as a human against the bot, which will be really cool, I suppose. And you know, in because in one thing we are interested if we are able to program the bot in better than the other bot, but it's the real challenge is if I am able to beat my own bot or something like that. Yeah. Honestly, I think it will be very interesting to, for example, play some kind of a top AIs here, and if some good card players are able to beat this. So we are aiming at that also, but not very soon. But don't worry, we have that in mind.
Yeah, we are alive. We got a lot of notebooks with notes, so more or less.
Okay, so now these two things. One, I can talk about possible strategies. The other, I have a Java code. I'm in the middle of writing of simulation-based player on my own. It's not extremely good, so I can show the code and implement a genetic algorithm. But it's 2040. Maybe, but I suppose I can do it on the other stream, like other from home, or if you want, not now, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So there was questions about minimax and stuff like that. Okay,
I think Minimax with some good cuts here and there is quite reasonable at depth 1.
okay. What we call minimum? Okay, because what we have here, it's like now we don't have nearly any information about opponent's decks and deck and hand, and I mean very limited. So the only thing we can simulate the opponent is the board simulation, but I think it is still reasonable to do that. However, because of the branching factor, I mean, I made quite optimized DFS, and about 30,000 of combination it starts sucking. I mean, yeah, downloading. So going deeper into the opponent move, it makes either you have to think smart or you have to cut a lot. And on the one hand, if you cut too much, it's actually not. I mean, it's if you make it very beam search. Maybe it is better to go for some Monte Carlo method.
Yeah.
But there are some ideas. For example, yeah, like if you're going maybe like attacking, like you split your turn into some parts, and after each part you just collect, I don't know, n best states
Yeah.
and go for next. Because okay, look at this. We have, for example, don't care about items. Items are bad to handle. But we have summon and we have attack. So and we have things like summon A, attack, summon B, attack. And we can have exactly the same turn when we have summon B, summon A. Doesn't without considering charge. Yes. So it's like we have the number of combination is kind of n plus m to some power, but we can say first we attack and then we do summon, and then we have n to the power plus n to the power. So we reduce this number very strong. Yes, and we have do several such tricks. Okay, there is not charging, but in that case we can handle charge as an attack. Like charge means summon and attack as an one action in your tree. Yeah. So you can make reducing like this. Also, when we consider attack, some orderings does not matter. I mean, you only care about ordering of attack if the target is the same creature. Yes. So I don't care about if A attacks B and C attacks D. They can be reversed and it's still the same.
As
Because-
long as it's not considering the guard or something like that.
Yes. You have to consider the guard first. Yes, but apart from that, it's your stupid move generation engine will make you a lot of permutations that you can kind of simply cut off.
Yeah.
So these are these ideas. So if you, for example, choose a target and make kind of a search for killing this target and choose n best states, so you have your beam search here. Consider word little. Yes. I mean, it doesn't change anything, because
The order? Yeah, it changed because if you attack A, like you got two cards and the
Mhm.
opponent has one.
Mhm.
And now if you attack at first with lethal and then without, then you just put off the ward but not killed it. And if you attack...
Okay, no, but I was talking. Okay, but I was not talking about a kind of one creature. It's kind of a one target, and we check all the possibilities for the target. So we still no. When you are attacking one creature, of course the
order
permutations, the order matters, but the order does not matter when the other creature attacks the other creature.
Yeah.
It will be problematic if we will have a true swift strike, but if we have the give wings works as it is, we don't care about it. But it's very strongly reduces the number of branching.
Yeah, and now I recalled about the charge. Because in the first version, like right now, you know that when the card is on board, when your turn starts, then it can attack. And in the first version, it works like when the card has keyword charge, then it can attack. So each turn, each card received charge.
Yeah.
And it was really problematic to explain to everyone, like your card gains a keyword each turn, like for free.
Yeah.
But it didn't gain the keyword if it has zero attack. But it gained it if it has zero attack and you gave it an item. So then we finally agreed that the zero cost card, the zero attack card can attack. So you can make a suicide with them.
Yes.
And we don't give a charge, but we just give they can attack.
But I still think that the idea with this charge was pretty nice. I mean, it was easy to explain.
Yeah, and each of your cards was just lighting up with your
Yeah. It gains charge, and yeah, but
then the swift strike, the double attack card was working very weirdly.
Now in my opinion, now it's working more weirdly.
Yeah, but then you get like charge and recharge.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, that was also strange. Um, so the basic approach is kind of what recurs showed is. Oh, sorry. I didn't remember. We don't have two cursors on 2 pointers. Okay. Uh, oh, Fala. Okay, Radek. Okay, nice. Okay. What recurse showed is flat Monte Carlo, which means we just run simulations on our turn. We have some type of heuristic, uh, and we evaluate after the simulation and choose the best. This is good idea, but I think it should also consider the opponent's moves. Yes,
Yeah.
but this makes evaluation more difficult, because if you do it like stupidly, like my moves, opponent moves, and what choose the highest, that means that you choose the most stupid opponent move.
Yeah.
Eh? So I suppose this can be like min-max bait. I didn't code it, but I want to try it. So you're making flat Monte Carlo for your turn, and then made some n Monte Carlo simulations for the opponent,
Yeah.
and choose the minimum from them, and choose the maximum from all your opponents.
Yeah.
So it will be kind of
Distributed minimax.
yeah, it will be Monte Carlo minimax like that, and I think it might work quite nice. Of course, we got Monte Carlo tree search, but I'm not pretty sure it's so good here. If we only think about going one turn ahead, I have no idea if anyone actually tries to make more than one turn ahead. Like, I mean, then 1.5 ply, because then it's something you have to think about your own cards from the deck drafted.
Yeah, but I think that maybe it's not possible in the contest, but we'll see like what will be the time limits in the multiplayer.
I mean,
because it will, if we'll have more than 100 milliseconds, I don't know, 200, 500.
yeah. This is the main point. Actually, you're true. I would really love to make multiplayer times longer. Maybe
10 seconds.
No, not in seconds, but being honest, half of the seconds, or if 1 second is just I'm blessed, but even half of the seconds is kind of a cool. Giving what number, if you can optimize your code at least a little, what number of simulations it is possible to make and evaluations, I suppose it will be great.
Yeah, we know we don't get. Yeah, that's
No,
more or less that's why we agreed that the engine is separated. Like engine is
Yeah.
completely separated, so we can use it later for our own game. Like not our own game like in product, but our own game like the place for research. Like currently we are running the engine completely separated,
Yeah.
so we can just run I don't know 1,000,000 of
Yeah.
plays
yeah.
just to train the algorithm or just train the heuristic or something genetic like anything.
Yeah, that's actually true, because normally the coding games are coded like they're into this class or whatever. Yeah, and for me it was I just coded the engine and made an interface that was later actually merged with the coding game stuff.
Yeah, and as the ranking stabilized, we can say that ignoring non-creatures, so
Yeah.
ignoring items,
Uh-huh.
especially during the peak phase. I'm not ignoring in the peak phase.
You're not ignoring them with a big face, so
Yeah.
you're taking, if it happens, a green item.
Yeah,
or
it happens like more of the time. Okay, so we can make like. Okay, so I just coded and.
Yeah, okay. There is, of course, instead of simple Monte Carlo flat,
Mm,
give
As-
more computer.
Like-
how would you deal?
Like
Or
if we know the possibilities, like if
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
know which cards the opponent has to pick from, so we know what is the biggest deck he can have. Like we know the 90 cards,
Yeah.
and then each turn you remove like 2 of them, like or even more, because you play something.
Yes, I mean, first of all, I think, I mean, I had some pre-base phase of computational algorithm that will allow to compute, given a history of the game, exact probabilities for the opponent deck. And how you deal with uncertainty in your actually deck and in the opponent, it's simple. I mean, I think it's you have to randomize. That's the only thing. You have a even higher branching factor because there's nothing more you can do. You know the cards you had, you know the probabilities for the cards, and so if you are kind of you're drawing 2 cards next turn, the only thing you can do it's like make random 2 cards from this which you know you probably can draft and then make a simulation after. It's if you're dealing with some kind of Monte Carlo method or like that, it simply adds more complex. I mean more uncertainty, but you still can use the same algorithm. Just instead of randomizing which move I choose, which move opponent choose, you have a chance node that randomizes stuff like which card do I draft.
Look at this.
Wow!
And yeah,
We put Venom Fruit,
the best one.
the best one.
And actually, it's pretty interesting about the mana curve. Like, I know it's randomized pick, but
Yeah.
more or less it's showing. I think this is general the curve or of highest attack cards
Yeah,
in every
maybe.
spectrum.
Yeah, maybe. Because this adds a lot of uncertainty. There was this paper, probably Bruno Bozzi, about this chance nodes bucketing and things like that. When you try to make some choices behave the same, like you do not make difference between some of the choices, like strong cards, weak cards, or they were divided by cost and or things like that. But I suppose it's very short-sighted approach. However, it also depends on the number of cards we have. Yeah, it's still not Hearthstone. You have only 160 cards. It's not 1,000.
And only 90 in play, which is I think more important.
Nothing in play. Yes. Actually, no. It's even more because okay. If you didn't read the detailed about the draft, for the draft we only randomize 60 cards. You don't know it.
I know it, but like you get 9 at most. You get 90.
Yeah.
because of the
Okay.
possibilities of the duplicates.
But I will tell this is so the thing is that you in the drafts we randomized 60 cards, and from that it's not here.
I think it was. I
No.
think it's not here.
It's not here. It's in the it's in the README of the rules. Referee. It's something like. I put some. If you want to know, I put some of the detailed rules
So maybe
here.
just Control F that.
No, it's on the. It's on the. Yeah. Like that. So the draft contains 90 cards to choose from, but we randomize only 60 of them, and from the 60 you always have 3 different cards for each pick. But if you see one card during the draft, there is a probability it will occur in some later turn. Yeah. Also regarding some random methods, I do not hear a lot of talking about genetic algorithms here yet, which is kind of a surprising because I know usually for coding games genetic algorithms work better than uh, Monte Carlo, because Monte Carlo requires some number of lot of games to stabilize, lot of simulations, and in with genetic algorithm you actually take what is the best for now. I think if you slightly change Monte Carlo to also remember not took the final move based on the statistics in the nodes because they are crappy, but remember the best sequence, it can still do good.
Yeah.
Especially if you kind of order the actions, then it may work as quite a good search.
Yeah, but I think then it will go straight to the genetic algorithm. Like, it will converge to a genetic algorithm.
Uh, in games of less possible brute force can be done. Yes, of course in brute force, but we are usually not interested in the games where brute force work. Yeah, I suppose. Converge to the genetic. I don't know. I mean, they all finally converge
To Minimax.
to the minimax in the near future of thousands of years. Yes, but apart from that, no, because genetic algorithm makes you. I will say it allows you to exchange the beginning of the game faster.
Yeah.
Like in the Monte Carlo, this top changes quite not so often.
Yeah.
And in genetic algorithm, it's just okay, let's use this beginning of the moves and subtract with the other. Also, I suppose this game it can be really nice with genetic algorithms because we are forgiving on the illegal moves.
Yeah.
Because normally, if you for games like this, you can see there was a paper about it was it was probably it was Niels Justin's master thesis. Niels is from ITU from Denmark. He got about this game. You remember this Heroes 5.
Or never. Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about
Yeah.
from the slides, yeah? So this is another game where you have multiple actions per turn. And yeah, the problem here there was that if he actually made crossover, then he was forced to check the legality of the moves. In our case, if we make a crossover, we may say, hey, we don't care, yeah? It will play it somehow. So it can be nice. What is also okay, the other things which are interesting is how to choose creatures and how to choose the evaluation of the state. As I said, there was I think Icebox put this his magic formula about this linear combination of skills to actually make a creature evaluation. As I was talking with M. Smith, he used the approach I like more because you should have more parameters. Like efficiency of guard depends on your defense. Efficiency of I don't know drain depends more on your attack. So you should have a number like this a bonus for multiplier bonus for attack with these guards, with ward, with whatever. So you have twice the number of these bonuses. Yeah. Also, I was thinking like if you really want to have the very nice evaluation, like bonus not only a single keywords but a combinations of keywords. Like guard with little is just awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Word with little.
Word with little is awesome. Or things like that.
guard with little guard
Yeah.
with ward.
Yeah, Guarded Ward is also nice. It's more nice than some other things. Like uh, the very interesting things I have no idea how to really cool approach is the mana curve, because if we are just taking the peaks based on the yeah just like that, you can end like with having just like that.
I think it's the best curve.
No, it is not. So did you have some thoughts about it, about how to use mana curve to improve your draft?
To be honest, I'm playing the Tesla right now quite a lot.
You are.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I don't know. I don't play at all nearly.
So I'm playing it. My girlfriend is playing it. So more or less we are working on the strategies, and the mana curve is quite problematic even for a human. Like even I personally don't know which mana curve is better, because it really depends on, like, okay, you can plan your mana curve from the beginning, but then after 10 cards you either have the best cards you can have, or you're already
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, but because I was thinking, like, if I am able to have
Flatline.
no, like I hard code my ideal mana curve, then I can simply during the draft add like bonus to fit this curve, or fit it near. Like, it's not if I put one creature cost 1, it's nearly the same like creature cost 0 or 2. So make it like this. Yes,
Yeah,
it's very hard.
Yeah, and I think even picking the best card is even best for the human, because here it's even harder, because you have to at first pick the best card, and
Mhm.
the best is
Mhm.
quite problematic, but then you have to play with it and it's somehow okay. But even in the human plays, it's hard to maintain any mana curve, because then you really don't care about the mana curve, you just don't want to have it really imbalanced. But then any mana curve is somehow okay, because you know, like, okay,
No, okay.
my mana curve in the end finished
Okay.
up like that, so I can play with that.
So I suppose for the control it should be kind of aimed for like more flatline, but usually I suppose to have kind of a
A small
How-
increasing one.
no, but how this human will play for arena is mostly choose the best card possible and then watch for the 1 and 2. You need to have enough low cost cards.
Yeah.
So you're picking the best one until you start to see that, like here, my probability that I won't be able to play anything on, I don't know, first 4 turns is huge. Yeah, so I will then try to pick cards that are even worse in the overall strength, but I need them to increase the probability that I will have to play something. So this is the human, like, I think, approach, quite common.
Okay, we
Um,
hit like 3 hours right now.
Yeah, so I think we will probably sum up.
Get to
Uh,
an end somewhere.
The other thing I want, oh no, maybe I forgot. I won't take, because I can take about state evaluation or stuff like that. But I suppose it will be too much ideas for
Once.
at once. Yeah.
I thought about maybe using a mana curve when I have passive team cards. Yeah, I thought about something completely reverse. Like, try to maintain the mana curve for the first of some cards, and then just go with it. Or like, just pick the best of the first n cards, and then try, okay, I have this mana curve, and I got like, I don't know, 5 best shapes, or 4 best shapes, or just
Mhm.
small few best shapes, and try to adjust to one of them.
Mhm.
Like, for example, after first 20 best cards, I got something like that, and then I want to pick something similar, or just fill the gaps.
Yeah.
In most cases. You covered all cool stuff.
Oh, that's nice to think it. This was just means I should shut up. Yes. Okay, so if there are any kind of questions that we should answer now, if not, I think we will wrap up and thank you very much. Uh, if you want, I'm really curious to start this genetic algorithm stream, but it will be probably later. I mean, not today, not tomorrow, probably even.
Not this week, like
No, this
after-
week. No, before CRG.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense because I like that recurs stopping the moment, and I want to like uh, start from the moment he ends, and then I hope he will do some more cool stuff on his stream. Yeah.
Okay.
Any some more words from you?
Thanks for watching. Like
Yeah.
it's really cool feeling. Like I was streaming for the first time in my life, and it's really a cool feeling just to read some people. Like it's not a discussion more or less, but it's really
Yeah.
cool to answer some questions which are really reasonable. Thank you for the questions, and I'm somehow really happy about the game. Like it
Yes,
really turns out great. It looks great. It plays great.
I'm really thankful to Coding Game that the game looks really great. We were allowed actually to push some of the limits, like a number of displayed entities and things like on. I think it's too much complicated for a standard coding game, but given that it looks great.
You should
Uh,
do more. Sure. So I will become some YouTube streamers.
Yeah, maybe. Giving okay, I think we can try to maintain some stuff. I will really like to, for example, have some conversation with other top players about the strategies. Maybe after the contest, maybe some before the end.
We'll definitely like murder them if they won't post any postmortem.
Yeah, but some but this the other thing. Postmortems are cool. I love them, but they're dead. But to gather kind of 4 people and just talk with them about this stuff like I like this. I use this because of this, and or the other stuff use this, but I didn't. I tried this, but I didn't work for me, and it worked for you. How? Why? And so on and so on.
This is the hardest game on CG right now.
It may be one of the hardest to actually
Master.
must understand. I mean, and a master is you have all these games with a continuous space like CSB or
Yeah.
things like that, which are very hard to master. Or you have to put a lot of work to make a simulation go, especially if there's a physics inside. There's only a few people that can do physics there, all except me. Yes, so in some case I think it's kind of most hardest in games of engaging and going into depth. There's a lot of things you have to understand to use as a human player to play it good, because it's strictly converted human played game. So it's not like this is an artificial game only for bots. This is a game for humans that we translate and we cut it to be able to play by bots. So you have to first think good from the human point of view.
This game is hard because I'm good with physics.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was really surprised like how many physics we have to get in here because of the cards when they are moving, like they are lifted and then put down, and they are moving like which one is the top one, and then the animations, the easings, and so on. So
That's your stuff. I never touched it. I'm happy about the only writing the
but
engine.
I'm really happy about the output. Really.
Yeah. So maybe I want to summary. At least for me, I don't know if I will be able to work with you more, but I will definitely have more ideas to the games, and I want to continue a cooperation with Coding Game and make some more games. I hope I will have time with CIG and my notebooks, so I think I will try to make some call for cooperation with at least 2 games during the next week or two, to post my initial ideas and check your reaction of some people, including coding game. Yeah. But now we have Legends of Code and Magic, and I'm really like it's very very nice that you like it. I know some people don't like it. I still want your comments to make me produce better games in the future. And so I hope you enjoyed the game. I know it was a lot of talking, and because but I hope we made at least a few nice informations gave you that you can use to improve your bots. I hope if anyone is not in bronze yet,
He will be after this.
he will be after
watching that.
after watching that. So thank you very much for being here, and enjoy the game more. Yep.
Yeah.
Bye from us. Thanks.